Alright, hello everyone, how is everyone doing? I'm back, and today we're going to be doing another video and another tutorial. Now, in this tutorial, I'm going to be going over double flip resets. Now, hopefully this will help you, and I just want to say before we get into it, it would be appreciated if you guys could subscribe. 12% of you aren't subscribed, and even though it's not a lot, it's still a little bit, and it would help me out a ton. It's free, and it would mean the world to me. So if you do happen to enjoy this or find this useful, it would be greatly appreciated if you could. And without boring you too much, let's get straight into the tutorial. Okay, now I quickly want to say that this tutorial is not going to be easy to do. This could take you ages, it could take you weeks, months, whatever it takes you. This will not be something you will learn in a week. Trust me, it is hard. And if you are GC, you probably have more of a chance of learning this in a week. For example, it took me a week, but you've got to take into account I'm a 1700. So, remember that this isn't easy, and I would only recommend this for people who are GC, this mechanic. If you are doing it at a lower rank because you want to be more mechanical, or you want to just be a freestyler, you go for it. But I will say that you won't actually learn how to do double flip presets as consistently and in different ways because you won't be ready for it. But anyways, let's get on to it. And let me quickly explain what a reset is. So a reset is basically putting all four of your wheels onto a surface, and in doing so you get a reset that's infinite until you jump. So when we land on the ball with all four wheels, we are getting a reset, well, a dodge that we can use forever, and that's how we're getting the reset, and then we're dodging back into the ball for the double reset. Okay, so firstly, we're going to have to learn how to do the setup. Now, the setup is the most important part, as freestylers will preach to you, and pretty much everyone with a brain in Rocket League will preach to you. The setup is literally the most important thing, and without it, you cannot do a mechanic, because it's just too difficult. So, let's make sure that you have the perfect setup for a double reset. Okay, so the perfect setup for a double flip reset looks a bit like this, so you can slow this down if you really want, but I am going to go over this in a bit more detail. But that was literally first try, but as you can tell, I practiced it a lot. Okay, so for the first bit, what you need to do is roll the ball to the wall. Now, obviously, you could go for floor for a double reset, but in this case, we're just going to be talking about wall double resets. Okay, so when we do the setup, we want to make sure the ball's not going too fast, but not too slow. You want it at a good, moderate speed around this speed. Something where your car can naturally keep up with it. Now, the reason for this is because you're going to need to match the speed of the ball while you're going for your setup, and this is so that when you hit the ball off the wall, you get literally the perfect height for what you need. So, as I'm rolling the ball up the wall, I'm hitting it upwards towards the goal, but more vertical and horizontal. This means do not hit the ball straight towards goal, hit it further upwards so that way you have more time to do whatever mechanic you need to, in this case, the double reset. Okay. So once we've hit the ball off the wall, we are going to do a slight break by literally just tapping our L2, which you probably would have saw in the first setup, but literally as you can see there, I'm just tapping my L2 button, or my reverse button, whatever that may be for you. As you can see, replay, a little tap there, and then I jump off the wall. I then fully boost to the ball, making sure I hit it with all four wheels, as we talked about at the start. That's how you get a reset. So you want to make sure you hit it with all four wheels, just just break a little bit and boost up to it and get your reset. Now you can see I have my dodge there. I didn't go for the reset, but I have my dodge. Now, you're going to struggle to do it if you hit it from exactly underneath, and the reason for this is because you can't dodge underneath. You could do a thing called a stall, but you cannot dodge and hit that ball. So, when you hit this ball, you're going to have to land on the left side of the ball with your wheels, so like that, or your right side, and that's so you can fall off to the left or right side and then dodge back into the ball. So normally I prefer to go on the left side, as you can see, so then I can dodge back into it and use my dodge for the shot. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you 50% speed and explain what the setup is briefly, just to go over it last time. So I'm going over to the wall here, matching the speed of the ball, making sure I'm aiming towards the other goal. I hit it more vertically up than horizontal. I brake just a tiny bit, you can barely see it, but I brake a little bit. I start fully boosting, pretty much holding it, only feathering it a tiny bit. I go into the left side more, making sure the back wheels are just a tiny bit above that halfway bit. I then fall off arrow just a bit so that I'm in line with it, and I know my dodge will hit all four wheels on that ball. I then diagonal dodge into that ball with a flip cancel, and then I then turn to it, boost a little bit, and flip into it for the goal. So that's it briefly again for you. Okay, so now that you've got your reset and you're landing in the perfect spot to where you're falling off, you now need to be able to get that second reset, or it wouldn't be a double reset. So what you need to do is dodge back into it. Now, most of the time, I will say you seem to do a diagonal flip cancel back. So you do a diagonal flip cancel, not just a diagonal flip, which is just that, a diagonal flip cancel. Now you either do a narrow one, which is that, or a wider one, which is that. And that depends on the situation. So if the ball's closer to you, you might do a narrow one. If the ball's further, you might do a, a wider one. Simple as that. Now, that's something you have to experiment with. It's not something I'm going to explain in this video, but that's a brief concept. But remember, you're not always going to have to do a diagonal flip cancel. Like, sometimes you might just have to dodge, so don't always expect to do that. I'm just saying for the most part, and while you're starting, that should be what you're doing, based off of the fact that you're landing on the left or right of the ball. If you're landing underneath, it's going to be a bit harder like there. But yeah, just make sure that you're being open-minded. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you two quick replays just to show you where my car's actually hitting the ball. So in this replay, you can see the back wheels of my car are actually above the ball now. In the replay, I'm actually falling off of it just a tiny bit, but before that I was above just a slight bit. So you always want to make sure your back wheels are above the halfway bit on the ball, and that will put you in the perfect spot, and I'll quickly show you that on the other one. Okay, so in this replay, you can also see the back wheels are above the ball, and I get the perfect flip reset from this and manage to actually get a double touch if I quickly show you that. So yeah, make sure you put your back wheels above the halfway line on the ball. Okay, now once you've got the second dodge, you need to be ready to take the shot now. Sometimes for a shot you might just need to dodge instantly, and sometimes you might need to boost a little bit before you dodge. It all just comes down to how perfect your second dodge was, and how good your timing was, if your air rolled perfectly in front, like before you actually dodged, to make sure that you'd hit that ball perfectly. But that just comes with time. I can't really explain to you how to do a shot because it's just something you'd have to learn with experience. It's not the easiest thing, but it is definitely probably the easiest part of the flip reset. So you should, if you got to this point, be completely fine with that. One thing I will say is the dodge, you can practice it by literally just going for a ceiling shot. Like, if you're going for ceiling shots, you're basically doing the same motion of like trying to dodge into it. So just honestly, if you're good at ceiling shots, or if you're just good mechanically, you should be completely fine with it. Or even if you're just good at, pre-flipping with your dodges and making sure that you're hitting it right. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. It honestly means the world to me. I'm actually really happy with how this video turned out, and I'm really proud of the production. So if you enjoyed this video or liked it or found it useful, it'd be appreciated if you could subscribe. It's free. Have a great day and peace.